So here we are then. Like, this is what it's like in the human mind when we say be free. So you've all seen birds sitting in a cage. You know, these birds that people keep in their house. In English we call them budgies or budgerigars. And they're in the cage and they're all sitting there looking in the mirror. And because you feed them, they think you're God. All of a sudden, food comes, they're all very happy. Sometimes they even learn to talk. They look in the mirror, they're going, "Who's pretty boy then? Who's pretty boy? Who's pretty boy?" So one day you think to yourself, well, I'm going to give the bird freedom. So you open the cage. The bird sits in there. "Who's the pretty boy? Who's pretty boy? Who's pretty boy?" So maybe it thinks, oh, well, that's unusual. Something different. Oh, the door of the cage is open. So it comes out, looks around. Who's a pretty boy then? Who's a pretty boy? God comes along with more food. So you say to the budgie, okay, you want to be free? Here's freedom. So you stick your hand in the cage, you grab it, you go, poof! Okay, you can fly, you're free. And you think, yes, the budgie's going to fly, but what does it do? It flies around the room and it thinks, shit, goes straight back in the cage. Who's pretty boy? Who's pretty boy? Who's pretty boy? Never mind, God is looking after me. Who's pretty boy? Who's pretty boy? Like, and this is what humans are like. You offer them freedom and they say, well, I don't know what it is. They're already living in a cage constructed through ego, through programming, through conditioning. And you say, hey, look, there's something outside of this cage. Oh yes, but I don't know what it is. Will I have to take responsibility? Yes. And they think, I'll stay in the cage. It's better the fear I know than the freedom I don't. And this is where the human mind works. So we ask you to, first of all, stick your head outside the cage. Look around and see that there's a whole reality that you never noticed before. And then, when you've accepted that there's a reality you never saw before, go to the door of the cage, take a deep breath, and yes! Freedom! Flying through the universe. And actually you don't need God to feed you anymore. You can feed yourself. You know, and when we're talking about you think that God's feeding you, you know, we're talking about being told what to do. You know, like, you have to do this, you have to do that. And if you don't do this, you know, you won't be spiritual. I mean, what's it all about? You know? But actually, when you're free and you're flying through the universe, you know, you can, oh, here's a morsel of spiritual stuff. Yes, now I'm freer. My heart's open. So this is it. This is what we ask you to do. Like, this is like what the whole project is about. You know, like Shambhala multidimensional freedom it should be, not Shambhala multidimensional healing. Oh no shit, we're all sick. We're only sick in the head. So, you know, please just, you know, ask your ego to open the cage. And once your ego's opened the cage, just jump out. You know, like the whole of the universe is there to experience in the divinity of love. You know, and you don't need nothing else. You don't need nobody to tell you what to do. All you need is to follow your heart, not your head. It's dead easy. So, well, anyway, this was recorded in Finland with a bunch of loonies in a 13D multi-dimensional healing workshop. And here they are. They'll never be the same again, but we haven't told them that yet. Smile, you're on candid camera. So this is it, and all we encourage you to do is follow your hearts and be free.